Sop Choppy, just to the north of Sop Choppy, moving now towards Aaron, Lawthon's Mill, Crawfordville. Crawfordville, you're kind of the big city within this warning along Highway 319 going north, near Highway 267. That's where this storm is heading. But let's take a look at where it's at right now. We see right over to Oak Park community, north of Ashmore right now. So if you're in Oak Park or Ashmore, I want you to be taking tornado precautions right now. Oak Park Road, just past Stephen C. Revel Road.
Oak Park, Illinois.
Alexa, stop. Shush. Sorry about that. Alexa thought I wanted Oak Park, Illinois. Oak Park, Florida. Alright, heading towards Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant, this storm is knocking on your door. I want you to turn air precautions now. Lowest floor, away from windows. Most interior room you can get to. Let's switch over to the velocity product, and then we'll take a look at the debris tracker because this is an observed tornado. So here's a look at the velocity product. So you notice where the bright reds and bright greens come together. That's where we're noticing the spin in the atmosphere conducive for a tornado like we have here. So Lawthon's Mill, this is coming your way in the next little bit. Let's see. So it's at Bostic Pelt Road, near Lawton Mill Road, Ronald Harvey Road. If you live along there, getting into Crawfordville Highway, High Drive, Aaron Road, Shadeville Road, Nelson Road. If these roads sound familiar to you, you need to be taking your tornado precautions now because this storm is moving about, I believe, 30 miles per hour. And I'll put a track on it here in a second. This is a damaging tornado according to National Weather Service, moving at 30 miles per hour. Just to southeast of or southwest of Crawfordville. Let's go ahead and put a track on it and track this storm out. But if you live near Crawfordville, I want you to be taking the tornado precautions right now. There's a look at the storm track. So in about, I would say, less than 9 minutes. Lawhans Mill, I want you to be taking tornado precautions now. Same with you and Aaron. You've got about 10 minutes. Let me move this a little closer so you can see. Crawfordville, you've got about 15 minutes. I wouldn't even say you have 15 minutes. The storm is moving pretty quickly. It's going to be knocking on your door here very, very soon. Same with Wakulla Gardens, Shadeville in about 21 minutes. I would just take your tornado precaution. I think if you live kind of Shadeville, Wakulla, you have a little bit of time. But just get what you need. Get a helmet, get a pillow, something to protect your head, and make your way towards the tornado safe room. So it's going to be interior closet, away from windows, away from exterior walls. Get yourself as insulated as possible. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch over to the debris tracker and see if we can see anything in debris. I don't see anything, but again, this is an observed tornado that's going to be and the warning is going to be going for about another 30 minutes here, so until 9:15. Did I just close what I needed? Let me get back to that. 1 sec, thank you. And switching gears here back. I'm going to actually split screen it, do one in activity so we can take a look at that, one velocity, then I'll clear the storm track off. So Crawfordville, you're next. Alright, Lawhans Mill and Crawfordville. This storm is knocking on your doorstep. Tornado precautions right now. Same if you live near Wakulla Gardens, Shadeville. This storm is coming your way. Alright, the storm has at least at one point in time produced a tornado. It's been observed. This tornado has been on the ground at one point in time. I think looking at reflectivity, there was a stronger hook echo a little ways back, right about there, near north of Sop Choppy. But one thing with these storms is, one, they're not always going to have a hook echo. Two, just because it doesn't have a hook echo right now, these storms historically are spin up, spin down, spin up, spin down, and the rotation is still there. Granted, it's not as tight of a rotation as it was, but there's still strong winds approaching Mount Pleasant, Lawhons Mill, Crawfordville, near Aaron and Aaron Road, Forest Highway 13, Shadeville Road out of Crawfordville. This storm is knocking on your doorstep. Lawhons Mill, this storm is knocking on your doorstep right now. Harvey Mill Road, near Crawfordville Highway, High Drive, Aaron Road. This is knocking on your doorstep, just a few miles from you. Let's go ahead and put on, we can track how far a storm is from Crawfordville. About 2 miles outside of Crawfordville, this storm is. And more than likely to the rotation, this storm is rain wrapped, okay? So don't go outside trying to see it. Don't go outside trying to get a picture. This storm is going to be rain wrapped. This storm is not going to be easy to see. So go ahead and, don't try to take a picture for social media. Just get inside and take your tornado precautions right now, okay? I want you away from windows, inside, taking as much tornado precautions as you can. The storm is approaching Crawfordville, which is a well-populated area. So Crawfordville, if you live inside the city limits of Crawfordville, I want you to be taking tornado precautions, because this storm, it may not be producing a tornado right this second, but it has produced a tornado warning at confirmed tornado at one point in time. And so even if that tornado is still not on the ground, we know with the history of it that it has the potential to produce a tornado, and it can produce a tornado very, very quickly. So again, this tornado warning going for about another 27 minutes. Observed moving to northeast. So again, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but Crawfordville out towards Shadeville, Lawhons Mill, this storm is on top of you. Crawfordville, this storm is knocking on your doorstep. Shadeville, you have a little bit of time, but again, this storm is moving with a decent little clip that it's coming, okay? I'm not sure why it's doing that. And this storm is starting to get kind of due south of Tallahassee. The storm is moving northeast, so kind of who's up next? The storm is going to start moving its way out of Wakulla County into Leon County. So notice kind of where the box is drawn. That's the border of Leon and Wakulla County right here. So Leon's here. Wakulla is here. So if you live near the county line of Wakulla and Leon County, on the Wakulla side, you're under a tornado warning right now. Or at least not all of the border, but a good part of the border between Wakulla and Leon County, you're in a tornado warning right now. This storm is kind of having a little bit more of a northward trajectory. If we put it into motion, we can see the storm, while it's still moving east, has more of a northern track to it. So Aaron, Lawhons Mill, this is Crawfordville. This storm is coming your way, and then even moving north. Kind of what's next? We're looking at the Wakulla State Park, the Wakulla State Forest, Woodville. What's that? Laturel. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your city. Lateral. Sorry, I know I'm messing that up. But this storm has at one point produced a tornado, and we don't know for sure that it still is. It may not be, but this storm is knocking on the doorstep. Ivan, this storm is coming your way as well. So along Crawfordville Highway 319, kind of north of Crawfordville proper right now, is where the strongest rotation is. Let's see if we can. I'm just gonna switch back to the one panel velocity, and we're gonna zoom it in and just start with roads. Lawhons Mill, Fulton Highway Road, Wakulla Aaron Road, near the Palvar Tree Theater, Hickory Avenue. There's a Winn-Dixie in there. Donkey's Bar and Grill, north of Crawfordville. Harvey Mill Road. I'm trying to read some more. Barber Road, Nelson Road. This at one point confirmed tornado is coming your way, and may still be on the ground, and at the very least is producing strong winds. So I want you to be taking your tornado precautions. Inside room, away from windows. Most interior room you can get to. Lowest floor you can get to. If you live in an apartment, go make friends with your neighbor downstairs. Alright, I've done that before. I know people downstairs. Very nice people. And they know whenever I come. Weather is getting nasty. Aaron Road. Gang up towards the town of Ivan. So if you live, I would say Lawhans Mill to Crawfordville up to Ivan. This storm is coming your way and has produced a tornado at one point in time. I'm just going to check Twitter real quick, make sure, see if there's anything new on the storm. I think for the most part, it appears to me that the rotation is weakening, but at one point this was an observed tornado in McCullough County. So Lawhans Mill and Ivan, Crawfordville as well. Let's see, anything new? 25 miles per hour around Crawfordville at 10. I think it's kind of outpacing that. We have another tornado warning in Florida. We do. So this one out in Walton County. Near, kind of approaching on Ponce de Leon, near Defuniak Springs, south of I-10. This is off the Eglin Air Force Base radar, near Uchina, I believe. Don't know for certain. Highway 280A and Campbell Road. This is a radar indicated tornado going for about another 20 minutes. So we've got the 2 tornado warnings in the state of Florida right now. Switch back to reflectivity. We kind of take a look. This storm has kind of that hook shape to it. If we switch over to the other storm, we may be able to see the other storm's hook shape. Let's see. I gotta switch to Tallahassee radar site here. I think the hook shape was more pronounced earlier. If we put this in the motion, we can kind of see kind of south near the 375 sign north of Choppy. That's when that storm was really tight. But taking a look at the last couple radar sets, I do think it's starting to put together another inflow notch here, right in here. I'm trying to draw this real quick. Right in here, I think it's producing another low inflow notch. And if we switch to the velocity mode, we should be able to see that that's kind of where the spinning of the wind is. So coming up on Lawhans Mill, Crawfordville, and Aaron. I've said your names before. If you're watching and you're so, wondering, should I take my tornado precautions? Yes, that's the answer is yes. Take your tornado precautions. Get to the lowest floor you can. This at one point in time was an observed tornado, and so also let's take from Tallahassee. We are about 18 miles south of Tallahassee. All right, so for those of you inside Tallahassee, this storm, it's not raining yet, but this storm has its sights on you. Now, will it still be a tornado warning storm? Will it still be producing a tornado? We'll see. That's to be determined. It may hold together. A lot of these storms have held together a very, very long time today. Just got the latest scan in. And again, looking at that reflectivity mode, at least, we're seeing a very kind of, it lost its hook shape for a little bit, and then now it's starting to put that hook shape back together to the southeast of Erin. So right now it's moving very slow. Erin Road, that name popped up for a second. Fox Hollow Lane near Lost Creek Trail, Bear Lane, Buck Vernon Road, near the Erin Annex Cemetery. That's where this hook echo that may have a tornado associated with it. Let's check in on our debris tracker real quick. Not really able to see anything, just kind of clutter from the radar for right now. But again, tracking this tornado warning in Wakulla County, moving to the northeast about 25 miles per hour, southwest of Tallahassee, approaching the town of Erin. I think it's going to go north of Crawfordville. But if you're in Crawfordville, I still want you to be taking your tornado precautions. These storms are unpredictable. And let's just go ahead and put another storm track on it. Storm latest scan kind of shows it still with that hook. I'm going to draw it out and say 25 miles per hour. Erin, you've got less than a couple minutes. I want Erin in your tornado safe place right now. Ivan, you're also within the next 10 minutes. The storm's gonna be over you. Bethel, within the next 20 minutes. 18 minutes. I would say even less time than that. This storm's coming your way near Wakulla State Forest. If you live kind of around the Wakulla State Forest, near Wakulla Springs Road, kind of in between Bethel and Hilliardville. This is where the storm is getting its act together and kind of getting strong. And then Lutterlow, within the next 35 minutes or so, the storm, even though you're not in a tornado warning right now, Woodville, Lutterlow, I would even say Lakeside and Bel Air, you're kind of next in that, like where does the storm going? It's going to be going towards the city of Tallahassee. I think it's kind of going to go more towards the east side of Tallahassee. It's kind of so if we kind of draw it way out, maybe towards Lafayette, Perkins, not in a tornado warning right now. It's just this red box here is what's in the tornado warning now. Even draw it even brighter so you can see wherever it's white here. That is your tornado warning. All right. So this tornado warning is going to be going for about another 15 minutes, but I wouldn't be surprised if this storm gets extended. This storm has held its ground pretty well since it came off the Gulf of Mexico a little earlier in the evening. If we can go ahead and put this storm into motion, we can see just how long the storm has been together. Came on shore kind of near Apalachicola to the east of it, went through Tatesville Wildlife Management Area, and is now working its way, moved north of Sop Choppy earlier, now north of Crawfordville, and is going to be working its way into Leon County here within about the next half hour or so. So I think very soon we may see a tornado warning get extended into Leon County. This storm still has a long way to go in its current warning and is moving at about 25 miles per hour, which is kind of slower in contrast to other storms that we've seen today at about 30 miles per hour. So, again, the storm has the history of producing a tornado. It's no promise that it's producing a tornado right now. And I think it's kind of gone through, like, it got strong. If the radar will loop one more time and I'll pause it. Out near Sop Choppy, right there. And if we go forward, right in there, I think is when we had the confirmed tornado. We saw a well-defined hook. We saw it on velocity. Then we go forward in time to now. I think it tried to produce another little hook. I think with the last scan that maybe it's a little bit weaker. I'm going to switch back to velocity and see what that looks like, because that's going to tell us our wind direction speed. I think the good news on this is that the rotation is weakening. However, I still think that there still may be a tornado associated with this storm, and that while the rotation isn't as strong as it was earlier, it pulses up and pulses down. That's what these storms have done throughout the entirety of this severe weather outbreak that started out in Texas and has brought snow to parts of the Midwest. Well, now it's bringing severe weather. We saw a tornado move through New Orleans earlier today. We saw tornadoes in Texas a couple days ago. This storm just progressing its way further and further, and now finding its way into the Sunshine State. If we take a look at the normal reflectivity radar, we just see how big this line of storms is, just out of view of the radar. Just going all the way up, and this whole line of storms now kind of pushing its way through Enterprise, Alabama, pushing its way towards Ozark, getting into Crestview. That's where the main line of these storms are. So I think as we get closer to, say, midnight, that's when the main line of storms is going to be approaching Tallahassee. Midnight into the overnight hours, say 1, 2, 3 a.m. Then the storms are going to approach the Big Bend into the early morning hours, and then push their way into Central Florida as we get later into the morning, say 9, 10, 11 o'clock, even into the early afternoon hours, depending on where you are in Central Florida and the speed of these storms. But I think the biggest threat with these storms, at least the biggest chance for these storms to produce a tornado, is not when it's out in a line. It's more going to be these cells like this one here near Crawfordville that's producing it's kind of a discrete cell away from the main line of storms. That's going to be tapping into the unused air and really going to have the chance to twerk itself together. And so this storm again, it almost feels like it's stationary. It feels like it's been sitting in the same spot for a few frames now. And if we put in the play, we can see it's just kind of hung out, kind of moving north of Aaron right now. I think it's moving more north than more north than any of us kind of expected. But if it continues on that way, Aaron, between Hilliardville, Ivan, Aaron, that's kind of where I want you to be taking tornado precautions. If you live near where 267 and 319 meet, 319 being Crawfordville Road, in Wakulla County, moving north. And this does not include Wakulla. I want to make that clear that this does not include Wakulla. This includes the Wakulla State Forest. Tornado warning. Now it's just a radar indicated tornado. So no longer is this an observed tornado. The rotation has weakened considerably lately. That it's now just a radar indicated tornado. And so we're still looking for the possibility of a tornado, but no longer is this being noted as an observed tornado. This is near Stokely Road, Oakland Drive, Mayfair Drive, Whidden Lake Road near Ivan. So if you're in Ivan, even though this is no longer a confirmed tornado, this is still a radar indicated tornado, very dangerous storm that I want you to be keeping your eyes on. I'm just looking to make sure, see if there's anything new. No. Let's see. Tornado warning including Ponce de Leon, Estero, and Westville going until 10 o'clock Central Time. So that is almost another hour on it. Look at that, stretching all the way almost to the state line of Florida, and is that Alabama? I believe so. Yes. So this storm, they're expecting to be together for a while, and it is another one of those isolated storms out in front of the main line near Ponce de Leon, approaching Bayou Crossing, Bounds Crossing, Hickory Hill, Cerro Gordo, Brittany, Baker Settlement, you're all in this tornado warning. Let's switch over to the velocity mode, and we can really take a look inside the storm. Kind of hard to see the rotation. I want to set in the motion, just kind of see where it is, so I know I can kind of train my eye on where it is. Kind of in here. I almost wonder if we're losing some. It is kind of close to radar sight if we're losing some of the pixels. I'm going to switch to a Dothan radar and see if we can get a better view on this. No, is this an observed? No, still radar indicate tornado. It's kind of, the rotation is there. It's just not super strong at the moment. But I think we're still going to have to keep our eyes on the storm as it moves through. I believe that's let's see, Defuniak, 8 miles east of Defuniak Springs, near Holmes County. So if you're in this red box in Holmes County, I'm going to switch back to the regular radar so it's kind of easier to see. If you live within this red box here in Holmes County, not this one, but this one here, if you live in there, I want you to be taking your tornado precautions, because this storm has the potential of putting down a tornado, and with a lot of the tornadoes we've seen throughout this event, it's been some stronger tornadoes that have been able to move into well-populated areas. So another about 53 minutes to go on this storm. You're not gonna have to, especially if you're closer to Ponce de Leon, you're not gonna be in this warning super long. I would say if you live Ponce de Leon south of I-10, you're good. You can come out of your safe place. You're good. Even in Uchina, you're good. Defuniak Springs, it's about to start raining, but there's no threat of a tornado right now. You're good. So I would say if you live south of 10, between like Caryville and Defuniak Springs, there's no longer the tornado warning. All right. It's Westville, Ponce de Leon, Hickory Hill, Cerro Gordo, and Hathaway Mill that I think we're going to be having to keep our eye on as the storm moves through. I'm blanking on the county name, Holmes County. Just checking, make sure there's nothing new. Not seeing anything. I'm going to switch back to this tornado warning moving through McCulloch County, see if there's any updates on it. Not at the moment. Let's see. I'm going to be interested to see, with 6 minutes left to go in this warning, does it get extended? Does it become some sort of severe thunderstorm warning? And with the velocity mode, it almost looks like it's trying to pulse itself back together. We've seen with these storms say that they've kind of just pulsed up, pulsed down, pulse up, pulse down, pulse up, pulse down. And I think it kind of, there was a point that this storm had an observed tornado with it, and then kind of pulsed itself down. And I think now it's trying to get its act back together. And whether or not it's able to do that, we'll see. But this storm is approaching the 367 and 219 is that 319 and 267 interchange, kind of west of Bethel, right over at interchange right now near Bloxham Cutoff Road and Crawfordville Highway, where those two intersect. That's where the possibility of a tornado is going to be right now, and that's going to be moving into Leon County here within probably the next 20-30 minutes. The storm, not super quick, only moving about 25 miles per hour, but the storm has produced a tornado and has the rotation associated with it. I would not be surprised to see if this warning is extended into Leon County, or at least southern Leon County, in the next about 5 minutes as this warning expires. Back over to the warning that goes for another 15 minutes for Holmes County. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation with the storm, but this is one of those discrete storms that's out ahead of the main line that has the potential to get into the untapped air that it needs to get rotating. And I do think it kind of carries that hook shape with the low appendage. So it's going to be something we're going to want to keep our eye on. Again, this warning goes for another 50 minutes. Now, I think if you live, I'm going to get out of this. If you live in Ponce de Leon proper, kind of near 10, I would say south of Bayou Crossing, you're good. You're no longer under a threat for a tornado. That being said, if you live north of Bayou Crossing and the Bounce Crossing, Hickory Hill, and Cerro Gordo, that's where our threat for a tornado is going to be. Let's hop back over to this storm now. Excuse me. Getting out of Wakulla County into Leon County. I think this other storm is starting to catch up with it and causing it to weaken. That being said, the latest reflectivity scan still kind of has that little hook shape. And taking a look at velocity, there still is some weak rotation. I don't think it's not as strong as it was earlier, but there's still some rotation, enough rotation within this storm that it might be able to spin itself back together. This storm about to exit Wakulla County, nearing where it's going to be Block 7 Cutoff Road and Crawfordville Highway. Near where those two intersect, that's where this rotation is, right here. The storm is going to be moving north out of Wakulla County into Leon County here in the next few minutes. So if you live near the Wakulla State Forest 8-mile tract, just pay some attention, because this storm at one point in the evening did have a tornado, an observed tornado with it. Now, now just a radar indicated tornado goes for another 2 minutes. So we're gonna keep our eyes on it to see if it gets extended, what the National Weather Service decides to do with it. We should find out from the National Weather Service here in the next few minutes. I'm gonna pop back over to this warning in Holmes County. What radar do I want to use? I was thinking the Dothan radar site. It's a little more north than I thought, but I think this might provide a good view at it. We just see those bright greens kind of next to dark greens. That's where our rotation is going to be approaching Cerro Gordo. So if you live near Bounce Crossing, Cerro Gordo, near Dan M. Paget Road, Minger Road, White Road, Holmes Road, Pleasant Road, near Cerro Gordo, Highway 179A, which is River Road, also Law Street. I want you to be taking your precautions away from windows, lowest level of the home that you can get to. If you're in a car, get into a site built structure. Pull off, get into a convenience store, get into Publix. I know it's getting late, a lot of businesses are closed, but if you can get into a convenience store or something, that would be great. I'm going to pop back over here. We've got about 1 minute left on this tornado warning for Wakulla County, and it did just expire. I'm going to hang out for another second to see if the warning gets extended, but I also want to note that all of the Big Bend, or all of the Panhandle, including Tallahassee, including Leon County, including Wakulla County, you are under tornado watch until I believe it's 2 a.m. this morning, or I should say tomorrow morning. So the storms have the potential, as the evening goes on, for a tornado to form. Now let me just check, see if there's any updates on a tornado warning being extended. If not, I will pop back over to the Holmes County tornado one more time, and then just making sure. Let's see. Still no tornado warning. I'm going to pop back over to this warning then. The Tallahassee radar is actually one probably picking up the best rotation with this storm. As it's near Cerro Gordo. So if you live near Cerro Gordo in Holmes County, take your tornado precautions back over to the Dothan radar. It's kind of harder to see the rotation. I think Dothan, you're kind of getting a better view at it height-wise. But I think the Tallahassee radar is actually picking up the spin in the atmosphere just a little bit better than the other radars, and so the tornado warning has been extended into Leon County. So tornado warning for Wakulla and Leon County. And this is going to be going for another 30 minutes until 10:45. So there's enough rotation within this. So if you're, excuse me, if you're down near Lakeside, south of Bel Air, kind of south of the Capitol Circle area, near Wakulla Springs Road, Oak Ridge Road West, Glover Road, Wakulla State 8 Mile Tract, the storm just now is starting to push its way out of Wakulla County into Leon County. The warning does include part of the Tallahassee International Airport. So if you live kind of east of the Tallahassee Airport, southeast I should say of the Tallahassee Airport, that's where we're going to be seeing this chance for a tornado. Notice this does not include Tallahassee proper. So this does not include Florida State. This does not include FAMU. This does not include like the golf course, the FSU golf course does not include the FSU Sportsplex. But I am going to pull up the tower cams in a second and see if I can get a look at these storms on the weather stem. Let me just do this. And while we're looking at it, so there's still that rotation within the storm. Let's switch this rack. See, it's very hard to see on the cameras. Switch back to the Doak Campbell Stadium. Seeing some rain on the lens, but nothing of that would indicate the rotation. But this tornado warning is just south of Tallahassee. So near Lakeside, La Turlow, Woodville, up along Crawfordville Road. I think this storm is following very much along Crawfordville Road. Near 61 319. That's where we're going to be looking at. So as Wakulla Springs Road is kind of meeting up with Crawfordville Road, that's where this rotation is heading. Oak Ridge Road West, and then Glover Road, Oak Ridge Road East even. So all of Oak Ridge Road, you're going to be seeing this chance for rotation, which is right in here, near the Wakulla State Forest 8 Mile Tract. So the storm is kind of pushing on a more northern route than it first was, but the storm's still producing strong winds and the potential for a tornado. Let's switch to the multi-radar view and kind of get there. There's a look at the hook. I mentioned it's kind of pulsing up and pulsing down. It's pulsed back up. It kind of lost that hook for a little bit, but now the storm, once again, has that hook echo with it. So this is something we need to keep our eye on. The storm itself is just to the south of the Tallahassee Airport, near Crawfordville Road. The hook now moving over this county line of Wakulla and Leon County, pushing into Leon County. So if you live, I see lots of houses on the map near Turn Road, Oak Ridge Road, Hassel Road, up along, I believe that's Crawfordville Road, Wakulla Springs Road, What road is that? Ranchero Road, Casey Drive, Hassel Road. A storm that has produced a tornado in the past. It is looking like it's trying to get its act together again. It's hooking again. If we put the radar into motion, there was a point I thought this storm had weakened enough to cancel the tornado warning. We go back in time a little bit. It kind of lost its hook. Well, now it's regaining its hook echo. So now it's, and the rotation is still there. Kind of the center of the storm is, or the appendage of the storm is right over the Wakulla State Forest 8-mile tract. So if you're around there, you want to be taking your tornado precautions at this time. Remember, you want to get to the most interior room you can, away from windows, and just kind of, if you can, bring a pillow, bring something to protect your head as the storm pushes its way into Leon County. Just got an alert from FSU. Tornado warning has been issued from the main campus. That is not true. I want to point out that there is not a tornado warning for Florida State University. This does not include Florida State. This is in Leon County, but Florida State is way up here. Okay? Florida State, you are not in this warning. I know Florida State Alert tweeted that there's a tornado warning for the main campus. There is not. There is not a tornado warning at this present time for the Capitol, for Florida State, for Florida A&M, for FSU Innovation Park down near the Seminole Golf Course, out near the FSU Sportsplex. There is not a tornado warning at this time. You are not under one. The tornado warning is to the south of you, pretty much due south of you. There is a good bit of rotation. I'm going to switch over to the correlation coefficient product, which is going to show us if there's debris. Not really seeing anything in way of debris. Kind of hard to see. I think that's just clutter in the correlation. So, again though, this storm, well, the storm is kind of just cycling, and it has a history of producing a tornado. So I don't want to let our guard down on this storm. This storm has the history of producing a tornado and is approaching downtown Tallahassee. I want to be very clear, this is not in Tallahassee at the moment. The tornado warning is not in Tallahassee. I think if the warning is to be extended, they would kind of include points to the east of Tallahassee near Appalachia Parkway, kind of getting out towards Governor's Square Mall. But at this time, I do not feel like if you're in Tallahassee, I want you to be weather aware. I want you to start coming up with your plan. What am I going to do if this does produce a tornado warning for the downtown area? I'm going to switch back to the west storm that's kind of pushing its way to the state line of Florida and Alabama as it kind of pushes its way out of Holmes County. So right now, the most rotation is over Isagora, approaching Pittman, Smith Crossroads, and Miller Crossroads. Even Bethlehem, you're part of this warning. This is kind of moving out of the Baker Summit. Cerro Gordo, you're no longer in this tornado warning. I mentioned your name for comments. This storm is moving a lot faster than this storm over in Leon County. This storm means business. This storm means business. All these storms tonight mean business. But this storm is moving very, very fast. I want to see how fast it's moving. This has been moving faster than another one. 35 miles per hour. So it's got the other storm almost 10 miles per hour. The other storm not moving as fast. This storm is flying up towards the state line. So if you live near Smith Crossroads, Anderson Road, near Pine Straw Alley, near Miller Crossroads, Oscar H. Martin Road, J.W. Miller Road, near James Joseph Polk Road, and Clark Road. This is a radar indicated tornado going for the next 34 minutes. Back over to Leon County. We're going to hop back and forth. kind of putting our main focus on this storm in Leon County. The velocity is starting to get sheared a little bit. We're getting very close to the radar site at the Tallahassee airport. However, we still see that there's a strong couplet right in here over Wakulla Springs Road near Oak Ridge Road. If you live near those roads, take your tornado precautions right now. Near where Wakulla Springs Road meets up with Crawfordville Road. That's where you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Up near Rivers Road, Lake Munson, if you live near there. That's where this potential tornado is right now. Let's see. Just taking a look at a couple of the different options we're going to do. I'm going to switch over to correlation coefficient. I'm not seeing anything. The radar is scanning very low to the ground right now, so it's picking up rotation at only, I would say, a couple 100 feet. Keep in mind, so where you see this little hole here, right in, that's a terrible circle, but right in here is the radar site. So we're scanning only a couple 100 feet above the ground at this point. I'm going to actually measure it out. One sec. From the radar site, the airport. This is... Why is it not showing? This is only a couple miles. This is a handful of miles away from where the storm is. What happened? Not sure what happened to our radar at the moment. Let me try to get that back. Sorry. Might have to pop off for a second. But again, now this is an observed tornado warning. So they have observed this tornado as it's moved into Leon County. So once again, the storm kind of had the rotation to pick itself back up again. Let me switch to another radar tool that's working. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let me switch you. Just need to configure it. 1 second. Close out this and bring this over full screen. I'm going to switch over to the Tallahassee radar site and make sure that you're able to see it. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to go back to this Leon County storm. This storm now observed tornado warning just a couple minutes ago. Let me see what it says. At 10:22, this tornado was located near Florida A&M University, or 7 miles northwest of Woodville, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Damaging radar confirmed tornado. So I'm going to switch to correlation coefficient here in 1 second. That's what's going to show us where this storm has been located. So correlation coefficient. It's very hard to see because we're very close to the radar site. But maybe right in here is where we're seeing this storm. I'm going to switch actually out of the Tallahassee site and over to Valdosta, just because it's getting kind of sheared right now, and I don't believe that.
Could you try again?
Sorry, Siri's trying to talk now.
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
There we go. Just oh my goodness, it's so hard. But so hard. If you live in Leon County, this storm is knocking on your doorstep, or this storm is in Leon County. I'm gonna pop this off and zoom back in here. Kind of southeast of the Tallahassee International Airport. Let me switch. Try to get the other one loaded up here. But just so you know, the storm near Crawfordville Road. See if we got it back. Hopefully. Maybe. Should be coming back in just a couple seconds. Getting notifications on my watch about the tornado. Be right. Alright, we're getting the radar loaded up again. Give it 1 second, I apologize. This is not pick a good time to stop working, right? Alright, Tallahassee, just give me the radar. There's a warning, observed tornado warning. And I believe at 10:22 is about the time they observed this tornado. Radar confirmed at 10:22, located near Florida A&M University. I mean, this is well south of Florida A&M University. I don't know if they've got another campus on there. And now the storm almost seems to be taking more of an eastward track near Woodville Highway. But I also want to note that we are very close to the radar site where we might be getting some attenuation with this. So we're seeing that it's getting, the radar data is kind of getting skewed because of the radar site only being a matter of miles away. There's the radar site at the airport where it says KTLH. That's where our radar is. We're scanning only a couple miles above the ground right now. So here's where it's at, near Woodville Highway, up near the Wakulla State Forest, Longevity Road. It's kind of already outpaced the warning. Approaching Capital City Circle, or Capital Circle, Capital Circle Southeast. It's late. I want to, man, just because of the attenuation, it's really not really too fun, is it? I want to try switching to the Valdosta radar. Give me a sec. Where is it? It's gonna be a lot longer out. Yeah, not really picking up as much. Let's see if we switch over to Eglin. Also not really picking it up. This is the radar we've got. It's very messy right now because we're getting a lot of attenuation from just the proximity of it. It's very, very close to the radar. But if there is a tornado, it's going to be right in here. Alright, let me check, make sure I'm not missing any important text or anything. Be on my phone in a second. Right in here, Woodville Highway right here, Capital Circle Southeast right here. This storm I feel like has increased in speed. Once it was kind of a slow mover, now it's kind of almost outpacing the warning, to where this warning might have to get extended a little bit sooner than the folks at the Weather Service thought. Taking a look at the radar, it looks kind of messy right now. But if there's a tornado, it's going to be right in here. We're still seeing the hook echo type of shape. I just don't think the folks at the Weather Service expected the storm to all of a sudden increase speed that quick. It was moving at 25 miles per hour. Still 10 minutes left in this warning. And it's already kind of outpaced it. So I think the National Weather Service here is going to have to go ahead and either extend or cancel this warning, because this storm has outpaced it. The storm already starting to affect Appalachian Parkway, and kind of near Lafayette, Conner Boulevard, Park Avenue, near Richview Road, Capital Circle Southeast, Appalachian Parkway. There's a few hotels. I know the Governor's Square Mall is right here. We've got the Target here. I know where that's at. We've got an Aldi across the street. It's kind of coming out of downtown Tallahassee to the east. That's where we're going to be seeing this storm that at one point a little bit ago was produced at about 10:22 this evening. So only about 14 minutes ago was producing a tornado. Is not currently, but well, we don't know if it's currently producing a tornado. But the storm has outpaced the warning. So I'm going to give it a little bit to see if the National Weather Service decides to go ahead and extend this warning. If they do extend this warning, this will include Tallahassee. I do not think FSU in particular, FSU being on the west side of Tallahassee, will be in this morning. I think it's more going to be for the east side of Tallahassee, more near Governor's Square as we get kind of east of Tallahassee, near continuing along Appalachia Parkway, even up near Mahan Drive. I think that's kind of where we're going to be seeing that chance. And then nearing where Mahan Drive and I-10 meet up. I think that's where we're kind of going to be seeing that's where the storm is going. Now taking a look, let's zoom out a little bit. We still got, I believe we still, the tornado warning was allowed to expire. As it kind of crossed over the state line. This storm no longer threat for tornado, kind of mixing in more with the line. There is a severe thunderstorm warning here, including Enterprise and Daleville. And then we kind of just see how big this line of storms is. It's going to be these discrete storms that I want to keep my eye on as they come on shore, because these discrete storms are the ones with kind of untapped energy and untapped potential, that they're going to have the ability to rotate and produce a spin-up tornado. Now, I'm going to check Twitter to see if there's anything new on this tornado warning. Let's see. We've got a marine warning. Let's look at that. That's going to be right down here near Apalachicola, I believe. If I'm looking at that right, yes. So right in here, they're saying water spout possible with this storm. I'm going to look and see if that tornado... so they went ahead and expired that tornado warning for Leon County. So at the moment, there are no tornado warnings in the state of Florida, I believe. And I'm correct. There are no tornado warnings right now. The tornado warning in Leon County has been allowed to expire. Now, that being said, near Sapchapi, there was a tornado. A social media user on Twitter reported trees down, about 1 mile west of Sapchapi. But the tornado warning for both Holmes and Leon County have been allowed to expire, and we're just going to be keeping an eye on this line as it pushes its way to the east, impacting Leon County, Tallahassee, and the Panhandle overnight tonight, and then going to be working its way into Central Florida in the morning hours tomorrow around 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So we're going to be seeing this line push through Central Florida. I think the biggest threat for tornadoes is going to be to the east of I-75. I think once it kind of gets further towards the I-4 corridor, that's where it's going to start to lose its tornado potential. However, that isn't to say it can't produce a tornado. So we'll just be weather aware as we move into overnight hours into tomorrow. And if anything comes up, we'll be here on Twitter and YouTube to keep you up to date with the latest. I hope you all have a great rest of the night, and hopefully you have a good one. We'll see you soon, but not too soon.